silent. The guard is just slowly turning it up, making it worse. Would have been nice to see some direction to kind of get. So we don't even have a moment of all of that building up to have Caesar break. It just kind of comes out of what we assume was multiple shocks. To have him break, and he breaks with half pity. Well, we're putting this line, half pity, during a torture moment, pressed up against 5 minutes earlier, where he says to McDonald that they're going to have a revolution and they're going to keep going and going and going. And it's a whimper. It's a whimper of a moment.
I thought the same thing, Richard. I watched it 2 or 3 times just trying to find out where have pity comes from in this character.
That's why I wanted the fuck you, the defiant part.
It could be anything like, maybe he claims his name. I am Caesar.
I am Caesar. Yeah.
If God, again, why are they torturing
actually, he
him?
would have said, "I am Milo."
Well, fine. He can stay Milo right here, and I would have liked it. Why are they torturing him? That would have precipitated how he responds to this, but there is no reason for the torture other than to torture him. And this should have been, as Richard was saying there, it made me think maybe the governor is calling for more power. I don't know how you could say that's kind of a boring way to say it, but more.
Maybe it's almost as if it was the emperor going, more power, unlimited power.
Wait, so we had Caesar speak to me. We had Caesar speak to McDonald 5 minutes earlier, and that was kind of our Caesars coming out to the world besides Armando that he could talk, right? But this really is the I have a voice and you need to hear me. This needs to be public. And this idea that it may not ever be public because he's going to die. Like, this is the moment for a speech. This is the moment for something that tells Breck that he's not going to win no matter what happens.
You're not going to break me. Yeah.
You might kill me, but there'll be another one to take my place. That kind of thing. That we will triumph. It needs to be that, and then that's terrifying to them.
Right.
Anything like that. God, it's just, I kept thinking, where does have pity come from? Because there's nothing about this character that's ever said before that I need your pity.
And there's nothing that we've ever seen from the governor that will say he will give pity.
There was no question asked by, we have the device itself saying talk. I don't know why the device is saying talk, and not why it's an automated voice that says talk. I mean, is that built into these no chambers for random apes to be tested to see if they could talk? But we don't have any back and forth with Culp and Caesar. Right. We don't have any pleas for Caesar to say something by the cast assembled, which might have had a little more power behind it. I mean, even given Culp saying talk, just talk, just something. Give me something.
What is your name? Where did you come from? Anything that just keep asking questions.
Are there more of you? That's what they should be worried about.
Yeah, I think that could be a question that they get to. Have you interacted with other apes? Anything like that, to where it just builds.
Have you bred? Do you have any progeny?
That, let it build, and then eventually that's where we get the speech from. That he almost answers all the questions in this 2 lines of dialogue that are defiant and, build the scene. But oddly, the scene ends with a whimper. It's just.
And the speech itself is defiant to Breck, to push Breck to anger, but powerful enough to move McDonald.
Yes.
But to action beyond than what he's already done by letting him go. So he says have pity, and then we get a very, very quick shot of Breck kind of like his mouth comes open a little bit and he kind of looks kind of excited. This is the moment. Yeah. But then we cut too quickly to really get any emotion out of Breck. And then we get to McDonald, who doesn't do anything more than what he's done in either scene.
Yeah, he's gape-aping it, just looking.
I know.
When you look at McDonald, I almost feel like he, with a little bit of tweaking in that, he could easily have the look of, oh crap, why did you speak? now things have gotten worse.
Right, or a sigh, or a letdown, or his hands back to his head again. Something.
Yeah, closing your eyes and just like, and if we see him slowly close his eyes and just rock his head, that even implies the oh God,
because the governor's not noticing because he's full of glee that we finally found the talking ape and we can execute him. Fine.
Well, do you wonder if they just set the camera up on Breck and said, okay, we're going to roll for 3 minutes, just give us reaction shots?
I guarantee you that's what they did.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And then they did the same thing to McDonald, and they did the same thing to Culp, and therefore we're not okay, now the ape spoke. Okay, now he's being tortured. And so we're not getting the diversity of emotions that we would need if they were able to kind of move back and forth a little bit more.
Well, I'm guaranteeing you that's what they did, Richard, because I went back and that quick flurry of shots that go between those angles, those shots are basically the same throughout. So they did one camera setup and that's smart. You do that, and then if you use a rubber lens, meaning a zoom lens, so you can vary that shot. Still, it's just one camera setup.
I still would have asked my actors to give me more of a range.
I agree with you. I totally agree.
I would have asked for more range of emotions in terms of what's unfolding.
But again, you don't know the shooting schedule. They're like, all right.
But the camera on for
Richard,
2 minutes.
It might have been set the camera down for a minute, roll, be shocked, be horrified watching the torture, and we're done.
And then the editor just picked the ones that didn't really
pick
work
the little segment that we need.
I don't know that. I don't think J. Lee Thompson would have had final cut on this, but he would have definitely been in the editing room to help construct a visual story. And the shots they chose, really, the governor's the only one that eventually shows any sense of emotion of what's occurred. For Culp and for McDonald to largely be, undermines the scene as well.
But so we'll talk about this just to kind of bring it back, since it's Friday and we're not in the next week or the rest of the movie. And Sean technically hasn't seen the rest of the movie. We don't know where this scene goes, right? We have pity.
Are they torturing him to death? What are we doing?
What's going on? Where does it go from here? Does Caesar get out?
Of the governor, yeah.
Do we get an impassioned speech in the next couple of minutes? Do we get something from this point going forward other than the discovery we're locked in a room? Caesar's finally spoken out loud to a group of people, not just one person or two people. Where does it go? Are we locked in this room? Right. Is this are apes going to storm the room at any given moment and free Caesar? Is the building going to be set on fire by the waiter monkey that was outside? Is McDonald going to come to his senses and do something? Is Culp going to jump up and down for joy? Is Breck going to give us a speech about his life and how dangerous everything has been because of apes? And we're leaving this week on that note. Have pity. What happens next?
And I have to throw in one last thing. As you were saying, it made me think that this moment needs to be. And I'm sorry to quote another film, but when Obi-Wan Kenobi says to Vader, "If you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can possibly imagine." If he had said something like "kill me," and they're like, "What?" and then he says, "If you kill me," it just continues that thought. That kind of defiant thing would have led to the end of this film. I know that Sean doesn't know where it's going technically. It would have built that character. It would have been that empowering. You can kill me, but you'll never kill all. You won't stop us.
If he had said, "Kill me," that would be amazing. Wow.
The weird thing is, I assume I know where the end of this movie is going. What I don't know is what the next movie is going to address that this movie hasn't.
Oh, just wait. We do get the same director, so it is what it is. Anyway, that is it for the week. We will be back tomorrow with an in-between that Sean says we're going to talk about a video game we all play.
We haven't talked about it forever.
And
we'll talk about other things too.
Things too, yeah.
We'll get to other things too. Anyway.
But our in-between will be part of our normal conversation that we have in our actual in-between the episodes.
All right. Then we will be back tomorrow with an in-between. Until then, everyone, have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
The minute of the apes.